But when you're ready, come into your Shavasana, lay all the way back. Just make your body nice and comfortable. Already just let your deep breath start to flow. Just feel how calming and how relaxing it is being here. There's almost like a sense of excitement. It's like the body knows we're gonna have good movement, good circulation. It's beautiful, beautiful activity. So from this moment, just laying here, enjoying the breath, I like to begin by connecting us with an intention for our class. So the intention today is thinking of us like a warrior. So warriors have to be strong in certain moments, you know, fighting for whatever cause they're fighting for. And so there will be moments today when we're doing some strengthening activities. But the interesting thing is they don't always teach warriors how to come back and, you know, be happy, be peaceful, be relaxed at home. So we'll also focus on those aspects, those good stretches, those good relaxing moments where we just get to be open with our body. And so that's our intention today, kind of, you know, building our strength like a warrior. We're strong, we're powerful, we're fighting for whatever those causes are that we deem as sufficient. And then also making sure that we don't hold the war inside of us always. So with that intention to lead us on, let's start some of our initial stretches. What we'll do is allow the arms to go all the way to the back wall and start to let the shoulders wiggle left, right. I like to take good deep breaths each time. So it's not only opening up my lungs, but also my shoulders. So take a work. So we're kicking our feet free off the front. And then use our hands to help us sit all the way up. So first we'll take a little back bend, and then we'll have an option to change that into an inversion. So for the back bend, just grab your hands under the back ends of the fabric. And as you slowly start to slide the hands down the fabric, you'll head all the way to an arch up and back. So it's up to you to stop the momentum of your hands at the moment where the back bend is enough. So some of us might be continuing to grip on the whole time. Some of us might even choose to release the hands, sinking even deeper. And there's also an option to grab for the feet. How nice it is to open up that heart space, especially since in our society we tend to be hunched over a little bit. This gives us something to open, to work against. Good. So you know your spine. You know when you're happy here with the back bend. You can stay a bit longer if you wish. If at any point you want to head to the inversion, grip the hands back on. And as you continue to tilt all the way back, the legs go wide, that wide leg, so make sure that you won't fall out. Let ankles wrap. The moment you have that wrap, you're safe to release the hands. I would continue to push the fabric maybe a little lower to the hips. That's usually a little bit more comfortable. This part, that part right there. You got it. Beautiful. So then the wide legs, wrap the ankles. Kind of fun, huh? Kind of like I promised, being like a warrior. If you are in the inversion and you want a little strengthening thing, you've got two options. Option one is thigh master. Squeeze your inner thighs together and then release. Bring that a couple of times. And option number two would be some crunches. So two things to play with. So like you have to be at hard work the whole time, you can also just let your spine hang. This is a big reason why people come, is just to have that spine relief. And I'll always say, don't compare yourself to anybody else. There comes a moment when you know you should come out, so you're welcome to just come out. Whether or not anybody else is out doesn't mean that. So grab onto the spot by inner knee, and then just unwind the legs and you're safe. Good. So elbows hook, shoulders forward, but no stress if you're still hanging. Elbows hook, that way you can't fall out. Shoulders release forward. A nice stretch for all those muscles up the back. A good floating child. Taking these slow, easy breaths to help the body flip its orientation. Good and easy. We'll start to take a nice spinal twist. So lengthening the spine back up. What we're going to do is bunch up the fabric to the back door side. When we've got both hands there, you can already feel the spine in a partial twist. So allow your shoulder that's opening up to that painted wall, allow that arm to just stretch open, or even circle around the back side of the head. You're inviting the spine into as much of a twist as feels appropriate at this point in the day. Waking up the muscles, but not being forced. Take one more breath for this half. Starting to release. Let's bunch it up to the second half. Again, it's going to be the arm that's closer to that painted wall. That's the one that opens up. Or that arm circles around the back side of the head. Let another deep breath flow through our system. Good. So then from here, we bunch up the fabric to the side that points you to center of room. So some of us are already there. Some of us might need to switch. Facing into the center, you can easily see what's going on. So to get into a straddle position inside the fabric, what we do with this bunched up fabric is lock our arms straight. That creates a little bit of space for your leg, the one that have your hip lifted. That leg, we have to swing it up and over. Sometimes it's funky the first time, but you got it, good work. So each of our heels slides into the fabric. Each of our legs straightens out. And like we mentioned, some of that warrior stuff, we're going to work on a little bit of leg strengthening from here. So the first thing we're going to do is the arms around the back fabric, the part that's kind of attached to the space behind you. Your hands are on that spot, pushing the legs wide. So good muscular activation of the arms and the shoulders. That's our inhale. With our exhale, we activate the leg strength to slowly squeeze the legs together, resisting the arm strength. At the end of that exhale, the legs open back up, inhale. So leg muscles are relaxed. Exhale again, they squeeze together. So going back and forth between the leg muscles active and the leg muscles relaxed. take another 3. Here's 2. And 1. Good. Trying to keep the legs open without arm strength helping to press. Slide the right hand down the right leg. Left hand reaches up and over. Feel the side rib stretch. Lifting spine back up. Let's switch sides. Slide down left leg, right arm up and over. One more breath in and out. Rising back up, working on grip strength for a moment. The fabric that's in front of our body. Grip up to each side as high as you can reach, left and right. What we're gonna do from that grip is try to engage our arm muscles to lift the glutes off the fabric and then slowly lower back down. I'm kind of rock us open a little bit. So each time, kind of push your heels to resist it back to stillness. Let's do that a couple more times. So 4. And softly lower. It's not just slamming down because that's not how we go straight. 3. And 2. And 1. Good work. Now slide the heels in. And just do a quick check that the toes are inside the fabric on each side. So with the toes covered, with the heels sliding into the glutes, let the knees pop out free of each side of the fabric, left and right. This prepares us for a little low squat or a plie position. So with the knees popped out free, grip your hands up high onto the fabric in front of you and start to come to that low squat position. It's like a toe squat. So the knees pop all the way out. We're balancing on our toes. Our hands are gripped on. Good. And in this toe squat position, shoulders should be able to be free. So we're balancing right there in the center. And try again, reach up higher. Yeah, you'll be able to stop it in just a moment. Yeah. Good. If you bunch it up, that'll kind of give you a little bit more to grip off of. Yeah. Yep, that's it. Just free out the shoulders. Okay, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Okay, so what we're gonna do with leg strength 5 times is start to push the legs into the fabric. We're straightening up. And relaxing back down as slowly as you can. Good. Repeating here, another 4. And down. 3. 2. And 1. Good. We'll have one bonus time. And what we're going to do here, once again, is grab the left and the right sides, a really tight grip. We're gonna let the legs come open to a nice side split, and the arm strength is holding us up here. It's a flexed arm position. So we're holding for a count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. Slowly lower glutes down as slowly as you can. Beautiful. So after a little bit of that strength activation, let's pop the legs back out free off of each side. And I'll take a couple of little bonus stretches for the hips and the hamstrings. So what I want you to do is take your ankle that's closer to the mirror, grab that ankle, and then swing it up onto that fabric that's in front of you. That'll get us into a good hip opener. So let's spend some time just breathing into that hip. The best part about this is you can change the intensity. If If it's really, really deep, your hips like screaming at you, lock your arms straight. That makes it easier. If you want more stretch in the hip, hug the leg closer to you. So you can change that intensity. So keep breathing. Another breath, let it flow in. Let it slowly exhale. And then onto the gathered up fabric in front of you, we're putting that arch of that foot that we just brought up. So keep the toes turned out in the same direction as your knee. That'll be the most comfortable. And then depending on your hamstring flexibility, start to straighten this leg up. Some might be a little bit bent still, that's great, nothing wrong with that. If you get it all the way straight and you need less intensity, that's where the arm strength starts to back out. Or even hugging it closer, kind of like before. If it's really intense, just keep that arm strength pushing into the fabric, that lessens the intensity. All these little moments where it's just us and our body. Good inhale, let it flow in. Nice exhale. And then this leg that's bent up, drop it down. Second ankle comes up. Sense that hip, so depending on that intensity, maybe hug it and pull it in, or maybe lock the arms to lessen it. Just easy breaths. Breaths for this hip. Switch it up to arch of foot. When you're there, the leg is able to straighten up as much as it's possible. You can always keep that arm strength to lessen intensity or back that off to deepen intensity. Let's take 2 more breaths. That second one, when you're ready to free the foot out, free it to the mirror side, so both legs will be together. When you're there, your hips are a little off center, so just shift left, right, left, right, left, right a couple of times. Good. From here, let's take our vampire pose inversion. So with vampire pose, it's like a shoulder stand, so we need to take enough fabric up over our shoulders to safely hold up our weight. So it's not too much excess though. A lot of excess will push your neck really uncomfortably. So just one thin layer as a complete half covering over the shoulders. My elbows are kind of like chicken wings at the side so that I can gather the excess of my waist. So once I've done that, I lay all the way back. I've still got it covering shoulders. So now I need that excess between my waist. I can get down to my feet. So step the feet in, lift up the hips, and straighten the legs out. Sometimes it's 2 or 3 times, but you should have one good thin layer, safely covering shoulders. Hands are reaching up left and right, neck and height each side. So feet are nice and free of the fabric. Bring them up. They're coming to the inside rather than wrapping toes on the outside. And it's that spot, I turn my toes out, it's that spot right above where my hands are gathering some fabric. So that way I can push into it, using some leg strength to rise up. Got it? So the only thing is bring your feet further, like right above where your hands are. You look good. Yeah, there you go. Strap back down. Good. Yeah, you can tell the difference. Yep. The fun game of not too much and not too little. I love this one for how the body weight kind of pulls the shoulders away from the ears. Let those deep, slow breaths continue to flow. Before, it's not a competition, staying upside down the longest. It's just listening to your body to know how long is appropriate for you at this moment. When you find yourself coming down, feel free to get some fabric for your head so you can just be rested in it. If you're still upside down here, let's take 3 more breaths and then start to head out. So I'll just relax a handful more breaths. What we're doing here is just taking a nice recovery pose as we are flipping our orientation back to our normal. So listen to your body. There'll be a moment when you're like, okay, all my systems gave me a good check mark. So when you reach that point, you'll start to just communicate with me, help me know you're there. by sitting back up, but it's not a rush to get there. So. Beautiful. Okay, so let's just enjoy one more breath of presence while we're sitting here. Nice exhale. Let's bunch up the fabric, lift our hips up and out. And take that fabric right around in front of us. So we're standing just inches behind the plumb line. Our hands are gripping out a little bit wider than shoulders. Let the upper body go forward, hips go backward. Start to do wiggles through the spine, anything that wakes it up. It could be like a cat-cow, wrapping spine up and down. It could be wiggles left and right, either small wiggles or even swinging as far over as front door, back door. Good. Coming back to stillness in the front. Shift your weight to be standing on left foot. Right knee curls into the nose. And then kick it all the way back to the space behind you, warrior. Good. Do that a couple more times. Curl in 4. And straighten back. 3. 2. 1. Beautiful. Land the right foot toward the top of the mat. Slide the left foot even further back. Good lunge shape. So lean forward, belly just over the thigh. Leaving the legs in this strong shape, start to lift the torso up. Feel how the stretch shifts to the front of the left hip. We're balancing on the back toes. Good. A little bit more leg strengthening here. We're shifting our weight onto the front foot. Use the balance of the fabric as the back knee comes into chest and land the toes back. Taking another 4, 3, 2, and 1. When you land it back, now let the back heel rest down, front leg straightens, and lean back forward halfway. Right elbow bends to point down to the ground. And this left straight arm sways over to that right side. So it creates a nice rib stretch for those left ribs. Good. Straighten both arms forward. Use the arm strength pressing into the fabric to lift us up. Start back over. Stand right slightly inches behind plumb line. Maybe some wiggles for the fingers. Good. When you're ready, come back to that initial spot, that come forward fold. This time we're leaving right foot underneath us. Left knee comes to the nose. And kick it back. 5. Left knee to nose. And 4. Here's 3, 2, 1. Good. Left foot steps to top of mat. Right foot slides back, balancing on the toes. Lean forward first, belly close to the front thigh, the knees really strongly bent. This one's kind of nice because as you push the back heel back, it's a little bit of a calf stretch for that back leg. Good. And then we'll switch to the hip flexor stretch, torso coming up. Beautiful. Shifting weight onto front leg, and that back knee comes to the nose and barely touch. Here's 4 and 3 2, 1. Good, stay. Let the back heel rest all the way down. Straighten the front knee. And take pyramid pose, leaning halfway forward. Left elbow bends, pointing elbow to ground. Then this right straight arm sways over to the left side. Open up those side ribs again. Leave space into it. Good. Arm straighten back forward. One more breath here. Try to engage arm strength, pushing into the fabric to lift. Beautiful. Step the feet back together. Arch of the right foot steps into the fabric. Give your hands some wiggles for a moment. We've done a lot of grip stuff. We're going to do a couple of pull-ups. This will be up to 5 of them. If you want to stop at 3 or something, that's perfectly fine. Pull-up is like this. We reach up high, take an inhale, prep. Exhale, use arm strength and core strength, leg strength, everything to lift us up and down. Take another 4, 3, and 2. Good, you can always stop or 1 more. Amazing. Slip the fabric past the heel. Allow there to just be a soft grip, especially after all the gripping we've done. And from here, you can either just slide the hands down, keeping weight over standing leg, or if you know you want splits, what you would do is slide hands up and sink your weight even further forward. Beautiful efforts. Give those hamstrings time to lengthen. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a duck grip here either. It can be flat palms pushing into the fabric. Ready to wrap around if the balance ever gets lost. Amazing. Weight back over standing leg. Have the right hand grip on the left side. And what we're going to do is turn over our left shoulder. Complete 180-degree turn. The knee bends down, the ankle gets caught. Grab over each shoulder. Sometimes even a little hop back to bring us back into balance. Just take a quad stretch for a moment. So lean your shoulders backwards into the fabric. As you continue to sink your weight backwards, that right quad should be nice and stretched here. Beautiful. Come back over standing legs. What we're going to try to do is head to the splits backwards. So first we need to drop our hands down to the floor. Safely drop them down. Once we're touching the floor, both legs try to work their way straight. And then walk your hands backwards as far as they can. If you can walk your hands behind where that front foot is, it sets up a really strong trunk. Either way, just feel those hamstrings lengthen. Hands walk all the way to the opposite side of the mat. It's like a three-legged dog. Good, so from the three-legged dog, shift your shoulders over wrists like a plank pose. Your option if you want to lift the toes up and down. Good. Lift your hips back up, three-legged dog. And shoulders forward, maybe toes up and down. Good. Rocking back and forth like that. Take another 3, 2, and 1. Good. Then that left knee comes to the ground, the toes swivel up to the side. Pigeon pose, just rest down to the elbows. Adding more and more of these stretching poses as we're getting closer to the end. But long, slow breaths helping you here. More breath in. And out. Slip your knee to the ground. Even take a little child pose for a moment, sinking the weight back. You feel ready to come up to stand. Take your journey up. It might be through down dog, and walking your feet up to your hands, or you might just come up. That's all that's good. Beautiful. We got one more side with that step, so come back behind. Make sure you're not standing too far back. It's like inches behind plumb line is where the head is. We've got the arch of the left foot on. Good. Reach up high. Up to 5 floats. You don't have to choose all 5. Just listen to your body. Inhale, prep. Exhale, going up. 5, 4, 3, and 2. Last one. Good. As we rest down, slip the heel past the end. Either keep your weight over your standing leg and slip the hands down. Or if you know you want the splits, slide the hands up instead. Sink the weight forward. Back. Left hand grips on right side. This time we turn over the right shoulder. Take the toes to point all the way to the back side. The knees bending down. Your quad at the ankle. Grip up high and a little hop back for balance. And then lean your shoulders backward just to touch the fabric. This is that quad stretch. Weight back over standing leg. Wait until you have balance as you're working on dropping the hands down to the floor. Once your fingers touch, straighten both legs. And then walk the hands as far back as your balance will take you. Into that nice splits. Hands walk forward. Maybe the foot hops back a little bit like a 3-legged dog. And then 5 times shoulders over wrists like a plank. Maybe toes lift up and down. And then back to 3-legged dog. Another 4. Last strengthening thing of the day. 3, 2, and 1. And that pigeon pose, the knees settles down, toes are circling in. Yes, down to the elbows. Let that breath go slow and deep, reminding our body we're safe. And congratulating the body. Wow, I am a warrior. This is so much power that's inside of my body. Relax here, 2 more breaths. Feel free to head to the child pose for a moment. So we're ready to come back up to stand. We've got one last thing to play with. This is going to be through the vampire pose. It's the last splits option. And one of my favorite ways to take splits in aerial yoga. So you guys did amazing with our vampire before. So we're gonna head back inside for that shape. So we need to come up to the front of our mat, face the fabric, wave it left and right. This time, since we know we're heading to vampire, we need a little bit to be scooted further back than we were the first time. So when you take your grips, take a couple bonus, maybe 7 grips or so. A little bit further than the middle. And then remember to come back under that plumb line before you head in. That'll make sure you minimize any rocking. So vampire was the one where we took one thin layer over our shoulders. If there's still a bunch excess, your elbows gather it to your waist as you lay back. Make sure you do have enough to completely safely cover shoulders. And the heels slide into the other end, straighten out the legs. This time the excess fabric needs to cover up our ankles and shins. So make sure you've got a little blanket covering shins. Okay, so same steps to get up, just the feet are inside this time. So hands grip up high, left and right. Pike the feet up above your chest. Push out into the fabric to raise upside down. Good. Start to bring the feet in front of you. So your feet are dropping down to that space in front of your chest. Good. So from this space, your right foot is going to come out of that little blanket that's got your feet, and then step your right foot all the way to the ground. If you pike your toes down a little bit further, you'll feel like you can work off of it. Yeah. And then just step your foot to the ground. Okay, yeah, take your shoulders safely in. Right foot to ground. That's okay, you don't have to. You can just relax. So if you've got right foot to ground, continue to sink weight backwards like the splits. With maybe one more breath for this right leg. And then when you're ready to switch sides, your right foot needs to step into the pocket and then left foot drops down. Good. Take your weight back. Take that splits action. One more breath through this side. And then stepping the feet back in. If anybody wants more time with Vampire, you're welcome to just come back upside down, the feet rise back up. If you're ready for Shavasana, this is about the time we normally head into it. So just bring your head back inside, laying all the way back. If anybody has too much rocking, just get my attention, I can help stop it. But sooner or later, whether we're still upside down for a bit longer or whether we're ready to release and relax, this is our final resting phase of class. And at the biggest point where we connect back to that idea that we started with, that idea of allowing ourselves to really find moments of peace within, not having to carry the war with us always. So let yourself breathe, relax. Got several minutes just to be right here. let's begin to deepen our inhales. Our exhales. Introduce little movements back to the body, fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Stretching it out like we're waking up first thing in the morning. I'll let the shoulders wiggle left and right a couple of times here. And sometimes I'll take a fetal position. The fetal position, you keep the body long, but you roll onto one hip. So one hip stacks on top of the other. And from there, you can curl in like a tight little ball and then arc the spine all the way back, just letting that spine have some movement. If you're doing that fetal position, I usually do a good 3 or 4 cycles to one side, and then I'll switch sides to help even my spine out. Some point sooner or later, when you feel like you're back to presence, your body feels good, let's work our way up to a final seated position. So as we rise up, let's join hands together in front of the heart. Let's connect back one more time to that idea of being a warrior, being strong, but also realizing we don't have to carry the war with us all the time. We can have moments of peace with it. By us having those moments of peace, it's funny because then we tend to see a little bit more peace outside of us as well. So with this idea to help lead us to a marvelous day, let's wrap up the time that we got to share together with a sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste. Namaste.